Be putting your husband's middle leg or third leg into consideration because you
don't walk away from me. Don't walk away from.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as That Mama 5 and also known as TMO5 Candle Co. And you know what guys, I've just arrived at work and I thought I would just throw this out here real quick. Just a short story time. I remember years ago when I just met my husband, got pregnant. The plan was that we're gonna like leave Nigeria together. We're kind of like you know, preparing things to ensure that we could travel together. But eventually he had to, his visa got out and he was like, you know what, he's gonna travel. In fact, there was no plan. I didn't even know what his plan was. Maybe he was gonna come back for me, or maybe I was gonna come join him. He traveled. So he traveled to Holland then. So I think I was about 8 months or 7.5 months pregnant with my oldest daughter when he traveled. So when he traveled, it was away for like a year and he came back when my daughter was about 9 months, 10 months old. And then I think it was not long after then, I think my daughter was like a year. So we left Nigeria together when Nifemi turned a year and some months. So that's a short story there. So everybody with jackpot intentions, like I've always said this, that if you want to jackpot with the way the economy is in Nigeria, with the way Nigeria is going at the moment, if I have the opportunity to leave Nigeria, I would leave. But say, without that being said, you having the opportunity to leave Nigeria does not mean that you're selling your properties, you're selling your investment, all because you want to jackpot. If you want to jackpot, just let God lead you. Let God lead you. So that you're not, if God is leading you, you're not going to have to sell things for you to jackpot. I know it's easier said than done. Like people will go in the comment section, oh, it's easier for you to say that because you've already left. I'm telling you this because we've seen cases of people who have actually left Nigeria, selling their properties, and they come here, they are struggling. It's not the way it's been. So why I'm actually throwing this really out quick here is for those who have, those who are young couples and those who have young children. If you are going to jackpot, I would really advise that you take your time and research the best countries to go, especially as a new couple or as couple with young children. So as couples, husband and wife with no children, yeah, the ideal thing is for both of you to travel together, especially if maybe the husband is a professional, maybe the husband is a doctor, or you are both career driven couples. Is advisable, and I would recommend that both of you should travel together. At least that way you can both, you know, source your career out, find your desired job anywhere you find yourself. And that being said, for instance, I've seen some YouTubers who are like in Dubai, South Arabia, in all of those countries, especially YouTubers with children. I'm sure it's their channels we've all seen yourself. They've actually left. They've left, and I'm sure they've got other reasons. They've got several reasons that have actually given them enough chance to leave. See, if you're an expatriate and you are a young couple with no children, countries like Dubai, Saudi Arabia, all of those Asian countries, or all of those newly developed countries are best bet for you to go because they are looking for mixed skills. But if you are young couple with young children, you need to put in consideration your children. Don't be putting your husband's middle leg or third leg into consideration because you don't want your husband who is in jackpot to lay with somebody else, or because you don't want your wife who is in abroad to lay with somebody else. Most especially, I'm talking to women right here. Women are always like, because I don't want my husband to use his third leg on somebody else, so I'm going with him. If you've got young children, it is not about knacking alone. Don't move to join your husband where he is based on because you want his third leg to belong to you alone. You should consider the fact that if you've got children, the country you are moving to, are they family oriented? Like, you know, there's schools, you won't have to go miles away to take your children to school. Are there play areas in maybe 2 or 4 streets away from you? So these are the things you need to actually put into consideration. Yes, you might be thinking your kids are still young, you can stay with them at home. Trust me, being abroad with children, especially children below the age of 5 who are not of school age, is hard. It is really hard. Yes, I've got 5. I had 4 of them in this country. See, without the help of my husband, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it. Probably, yeah, my husband was here a few other good parents who have met along the line, whereby if I need to go somewhere, I'll leave my kids with them. If they need to go somewhere, they bring their kids. So we're able to, there's just a handful of us like that, not a massive group of us like that. But if now I'm saying this, it might sound as if, oh, she's bragging because she's in abroad. Like, this is not a matter of bragging. I'm tired of coming onto YouTube. I'm tired of reading social media reports or something of parents who are struggling, especially if they've got young children. Because if you are just on your own and you've got children under the age of 5 in a country whereby schools are like thousands of miles away, like play areas, creches are miles away, or you can't even put your child in that school because of maybe, like, say for instance, Saudi Arabia is a Muslim oriented country, and if you're going to put your kid in a school like that, trust me, they'll be teaching them how to speak Arabic, and that might not go with your own Christian beliefs. So in a way, would you now say you're going to leave, or would you say you want to homeschool your child? Homeschooling is no joke, and I'm giving kudos to teachers who teach children. So if you think you want to homeschool your kid, you need to think again. So what I'm saying in essence is this: don't jackpot just because you want to be beside your husband, just because you want your husband to make sure that it's only you, just because you don't want your husband to look at another woman, just because you don't want your husband's third leg to go after another woman. But then if you've got children, your children should be your priority. Yes, they might be young now, but then let's say they are age 3. Normally by the age of 4, depending on when in the year you had your baby, if it's a February child, that child will start school in the August of that same year. If it's a December baby or August baby, that child will start school the following year. So the thing is that you don't want your child to be lacking behind when they are meant to be in school, just because you're being choosy about schools. So like I said, countries that are family oriented, that schools is a must. Like, by the time you walk 3 streets, you will have seen schools, like 2 or 3 schools around you. Such countries are United Kingdom, we've got Canada, we've got US, we've got Belgium, we've got Australia, we've got France. These are countries that are family oriented, that there's schools, there's like play area for children below the age of 3. There are things that you can easily accept, because at the end of the day, these children that we are out here doing all of this for, they are going to be our future. And our prayer is that once we are old, our children should be up to the level, up to the stage, or up to the level that we want them to be, whereby they will be able to care for us as well. However, if you're not caring for them when you should care for them, but you're only concerned about your husband or your wife, trust me, you don't let your kids be like, oh, some Oyibo people or some Oyibo children that they will just go and throw their parents into houses for Arubo people. Yeah, I don't want to use Oyibo. So I just said, I'll just throw this really quick out here that, if you're planning on relocating, relocation is good. If you have the opportunity, make use of it, but don't go selling properties. And if you're going to relocate and join your husband, either as a couple or either as a family with young children, please ensure you are choosing countries that are family oriented, countries that you won't have issues putting your kids in school, you won't have issues putting your kids on the kindergarten or crochet, countries that you'll be able to work out. If you decide as a wife you want to work as well, I've always said it, and I've said it in previous video that I did before, that when my kids were younger, the way we do it, I will work day and my husband will work night. And when there are times that I need to work night, my husband will take the kids during the day while I do night. So we just kind of mix it around there, that we don't have to, most of the time we didn't have to even put our kids in nursery for when we are at work. The only time I would say my kids are at nursery was when I was in school. Like when I was studying, the younger ones were in nursery. But then when I stopped school, it's a matter of I drop them in the morning when I'm going to school, and then if I'm running back late, my husband goes to pick them up. Or at some point he drops them, I pick them up. That was how we're able to do it. So the only time maybe I'm having to leave my children with some of the nice parents that I met, where maybe I have to go shopping for food, and maybe they've asked me to bring something from the shop for them, which they've asked me to help them buy as well. That way we're able to do. But nowadays children are hard to even live with anybody. So I just said, I'll come here and throw this really quick out here for you mothers out there, for you newly coupled out there, for you moms or parents with young kids out there. Listen, take your time. Your children should be your forefront priority. In as much as you are trying to create a career for yourself, in as much as you are trying to get a job to cater for them, your children also should be the center of your living as well. It shouldn't be that job you are going to take as an expatriate in one country that you won't be able to put your children in school, or you feel lonely, or you feel as if you are out of the world, or you're against the world. Like, you don't want to be living like that. Anyway, if this video makes sense and you agree with what I've said, don't forget to drop a comment. Let's continue with the conversation in the comment section, and please let's keep it respectfully. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like this video. Like I said, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you're yet to subscribe, turn on the post notification, and share this video, because there are some people on this street of YT who really needs to watch this. And I hope to see you guys later. All right, bye.